I don't know. I think it depends on who you're interviewing.
Yeah.
I think some people, like, you want to hear them talking all their story and all that shit, but other times, like he was saying, we kind of want to find a mix of, like, a cool guest that we like, but also we can still talk about how we talk and, like, not change the entire show.
Make it some, like, overly official shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep people comfortable.
You also the first one we don't know.
Word.
Like, person, like, friend-wise. Everybody else has been, like, oh, it's my
I'm about to say, because you said you and Bugs, y'all. I mean, because
I knew him from middle school.
So me and Ray, I'm real cool with Ray Sean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
we went to high school. And middle school.
Me, Chauncey, and Juan, we all and the homies. I'm mad close with them. So Ray, I'm in a group chat with him. He's silly as fuck, man. I love Ray.
Ray Sean's a character.
Ray Sean's crazy.
We in a group chat with him for hooping. You know, he talked about him and his ankle hurt.
Yeah. And still be hooping, though. I'm like, yo.
He came out one week and was, like, in a full brace, and the next was like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah, because Chauncey had, are we on right now?
Yeah.
Ace had his birthday party. And we went to, I'm going to say, I got to say his official name.
I was about to say, you switched it up.
I'm saying government's like hell. You know what I mean? He had his birthday party at the U of L basketball practice arena. Which was cool. I don't even play basketball, but I'm like, shit, I put my Kobe's on for that. I was like, yo, I play.
Special occasion.
Yeah,
at least the grand
was
flips.
dope, you know what I mean?
Get your shit off. The cardinal bird.
Type shit. So we was hooping, and Ray was like doing his thing, but then would like wobble back. I was like, dog, quit playing.
Exactly.
That's how you know we starting to get a little older, though. Because that's reminded me we played flag football.
Yeah.
That's how I knew, like, damn, niggas is losing it.
Man.
This one dude, first time he probably sprinted in probably 3 years. Just some dude we was playing against. After 3 steps, pulled both his hands.
Yeah,
Both of them.
I was like, damn, bro.
You gotta get out there and stretch and shit beforehand, man.
That is the thing, though. He did hop out the car.
Yeah, you can't.
Because
They
got their late. They got their
you
late.
Can't do it no more, man.
Yeah,
We all live in hoop dreams still. That's the problem.
Man, I don't even hoop, and I still got hoop dreams. I still like I like when I tell you like if you saw me play basketball, you like he does not hoop. And I still like do little stuff. My boy called me out about it. I had that. So the guy I do 2026 with, my buddy, best friend growing up, Francis Tomasevich, he called me out one day, and I guess it triggered the hell out of me. I had to be like, so it was a few years back, and I've been out of high school more than 10 years now, like 11,
Damn.
12 years.
No,
Respectfully. But I've been out of high school for a little while now, yes. And I forgot what he said. He said something just regarding, like, because I was just, like, doing my little crossover, you know, just what niggas do. Respectfully.
Crossover.
And fucking, he had said something, and I just, like, flipped out on him. Funny enough, the next day we went to Philadelphia. The guy said, "Hey, dog, I'm sorry, man. I was just," but like something about that, I think I just realized, like, bro, you are not going to the league. And it just was hard. And like, granted, I'm a person that's gotten cut from like the 6th grade basketball team. Like, I'm ass. You feel me? So like, league dreams, it was never a thing for me.
There was never any hope.
But when he said that to me as like a 25, 26-year-old man, I was like, what the fuck? And like, took it offensively. Like, I was like, damn.
I still get this G League 10.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like to play in leagues with men and women, respectfully. Like, and shout out to women out there playing basketball, but like, I'm like, yo, I need that pace because I'm just not. Motherfuckers out there like doing shit like, I'll be hooping with them every Sunday now because they'll be like, Dom, come out there and hoop. And I'm like, dog. Like, I'll play one game and I'm like, bro, I'm tired. And then I don't have that competitive energy with basketball.
Right.
I don't give a shit. I'm like, I'm hoping we lose so I can go sit down. Like, dead. I'm like, dog. I hope we like. But the thing about it is when we play basketball on Ace's birthday, one of my homies, he's a like strength and conditioning coach. Shout out to my boy Yancey. He was strength and conditioning coach down there at Houston, University of Houston. And I'm pretty sure he's got the job for Louisville too, for Louisville's football team. And he was like, come on, Dom, get out there, like, work hard. And I'm just like thinking of him as like a coach figure. I'm like, fuck it. Well, I tell you, I was playing my ass off. I actually like probably one of the better games in my life I've ever played. I'm telling you, I'm not a hooper, but that day you probably would have been like, damn, he's actually like, I was knocking down deep threes. I really don't give a damn. So I'm out there because I watch basketball. I be telling people like And I be telling them because I'm like, I want to start hooping more because I need to be on my physical shit. And I'm like, man, I'm looking at players like Ruchi Achimura and shit like that. I'm like, that's my archetype. like defensive players, like you know what I mean? Like I want to be a good role player. I tell my boy, shout out to my boy Sulia, I be like, man, I'll start whispering to him, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna set this pick for you, dog. Like, hey, like I do that in pickup games. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm gonna hit this.
I'm 200%. I'm definitely whenever I do play basketball, like the 2 to 3 times maybe I play, I think of myself as a really good role player. Because I go out there, I'm going out there playing defense. That's why I need to get more in shape. Because if I was more in shape, I'm thinking Draymond archetype then. You know what I mean?
Now you playmaking a little.
Literally.
The enforcer build.
No,
I like it.
Basketball is a different level of like conditioning. Like you can be in shape, but being in shape and then being in basketball shape.
That's crazy.
You run up and down that court 15 times. Now it's like heart burning, like your head's hot, like it's completely different.
Well, especially if you celebrate after every shot like I do. So. And that's even more, right?
That's
the
what
I was
animation.
doing. Oh, my God. Yeah. That's exactly. Well, that's what I kept hitting shots. Like, it was one game, and they can attest to this, where I had, like, the first, like, 6 or 8 points. It was something like, I was like, what the fuck? Because they hoop on the regular. And we got one of our buddies, he played at Spalding. He's like 6'5", like he a hooper. You know what I mean? The rest of them all play like high school football and basketball and stuff like that. So they're hoopers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Me, like, so like anytime I was doing anything, if I got a bucket,
You're gonna let them know.
I'm going crazy. But then I'm like, damn, I gotta go play defense again.
Well, we want to welcome Dom to the show.
Yeah.
They're like, we didn't know this motherfucker had hoop dreams like this.
Yeah.
I thought he was a DJ.
I was coming for the deep
This is my second. This is my backup plan. Look.
Thank you for coming on to the show. We want to talk about this main thing you've been starting. About 3 episodes in now. It's Dom FM. Why don't you let the people know a little bit?
So with what's going on in the city as far as the venue crisis, that I would say, because last year every space that I was working out of is closed down due to either the business is not working out or racism. And a lot of people, there were not even a lot of people, but there was a few people that was like, hey, you should start your own bar, which I'm like, if your white ass is getting shut down, what do you think you're going to do to me?
Right.
Respectfully. You know what I mean? And my main objective, anytime I have a party, is for my people, whether that's black people, queer people, whoever, to feel safe. And so that just hasn't really been the case recently. We don't have any spaces where it's just like it's ours. And so with Dom FM, I was like, how can I build something that's not like an actual place, but it feels like that? And so I've always liked talking on the microphone. I love playing music out. And I was like, and I was telling y'all before the episode.
There you go. There you go. That's a callback right there.
And I was telling y'all, like I watch so many podcasts, interviews. So I could give you a whole crazy list. Like my girlfriend will literally tell you, like that's all I watch. She actually turns some shit off because I watch sports commentary all the time. I watch Breakfast Club. I watch all my fashion podcasts. I watch hella DJ TikToks and stuff. Like I watch hella because I'm always just in documentaries and shit. Like I love just watching the process, like hearing the process of something. And so with Dom FM, it's just a space for me to be myself, play the music that I want to. I've been playing a lot of house music, a lot of dance, a lot of drum and bass and jungle and Jersey club and stuff like that. Stuff that I want people to dance. Whenever they hear me DJ, and I said that on, I think, the last episode 3, I said, man, whenever y'all hear me DJ, I want y'all to dance. Because if you ever see me at a party and I'm not spinning and the DJ's getting to it, I'm lit. Like, I'm dancing. And that's my whole thing is just people just not feeling, I don't know, just letting go of their egos and letting go of, like, whatever. Like, I'm like, man, I'm stepping on shoes. I'm sweating. I don't give a
You know,
fuck.
got to stand on the wall. And I'm like,
Hey,
I done paid money. So
when I
need to
tell
do-
you, dog, like, it's crazy. Like, I never forget. It was years ago, and I was just really getting into DJing because I was rapping, and I still do. I still make my own music. I haven't put out anything in a while. Actually, shout out to my boy Rosario. He just put out a project, Love Bunker, that I featured on.
We went to school with him.
So yeah, exactly. I love Rosario. Shout out Alex too, my boy Alex G. But me and him were out. He was living out in L.A. last year, and he just recently moved back to Louisville. But when he was out there, I had went out there to celebrate New Year's and my birthday. I'm a New Year's Eve baby.
Damn.
And yeah, I know it's crazy. I was born to party. So
Shit.
and so I came to his crib, and how they had like a basement. So their basement was like the garage, and they set up like a studio. It was real cool. And he was like, "Dom, let me show you what I've been working." Because Rosario, if anybody like knows him, like he works crazy. I mean, that's all he does, work on his music.
Yeah,
So
it's
he was
like
just
full-time.
yeah,
job,
that's all he does. That's really all he does is work on his music. So he was showing me shit, and I was really fucking with it. I was like, man, this sounds dope. He's like, I got this album I want to do. Blah, 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 and just tell me all his stuff. And so I go up to use the restroom. It was one of those. And he had already cooked up a beat. These motherfuckers text me like, where are you at? I was like, hey, man. Like,
I'm in the throes of it right now.
Hey. but so I got down there, and then we made a song and whatnot. So that just recently came out. So I still do make music. But DJing had kind of started as like a secondary thing. To be honest with y'all, it was just because I didn't think people around here was playing the shit that I like.
Yeah.
Nothing against them, I just motherfuckers wasn't doing the shit that I wanted to hear and stuff. So I started DJing like that. But am I still talking about Diamond Films? I just went on a whole.
You can keep
Yeah,
going. You can talk about your what
I
brought you
think
to being a DJ.
roundabout way you're getting back
I'm
to
about
it.
to say, but Diamond Film is just and it's really more about why I started DJing was to hear shit that I wasn't hearing out here,
Right.
respectfully. And like when I go other places, like people just dance, and it's weird here. And nothing against, and I'm not shitting on any patron in Louisville because that's just not our culture. That's just not what it is here, and I respect that. You know what I mean? But like, people just dance, and I remember being in like fucking high school homecomings and stuff like that, and just
people
not.
would just,
And this is, I even think about middle school. We ain't drinking on nothing.
Right.
But
People
we
just,
out there just turn it the fuck up. Go
Yep.
be around some
Going
little kids.
crazy.
You play Just Wanna Rock. They gonna go crazy. Like,
Start hitting the hips.
yeah. So it's just like with Dama FM is just like really just creating a space for myself. And I have other plans for that. I got I want to do some live events. I want to start and I don't really like talking about stuff that I want to do. I just want to get to it. But I do have more plans. But I really just want it to be just laying the foundation for myself and my brand. I feel like I was doing 2026 with my buddy Francis. I do ABX, Another Black Experience, with my brother Coop. And there's other stuff. Me and Michi, we do a lot. Shout out to my brother Michi. We do a lot of stuff in the city as well too. And I wanted a space for me. So when people ask what I do, what I like to do, I'm like, Dom FM. And it's not even like a genre specific like thing that I'm doing.
Okay.
Right now, I mean obviously I always love house music and just dance music in general, but that's just where I'm at as far as like what I want to be hearing out and playing out. And so yeah, just bi-weekly I'm releasing episodes usually around either a little over an hour and either a little under an hour or a little over an hour, but around an hour of me just playing music and talking about that shit. So yeah, it's been fun because now I had to look up music all the time. Like this shit was on my mind right now. Like I was literally like, I was like, man, like, cause I usually record on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. So I'm like, all right, Dom, you gotta get your shit together or whatnot. But it's fun because it's not even like I'm getting a crazy amount of viewers right now, but it's just, it's for me. And I feel like people don't understand what, the DJ shit, especially around here. I've heard people like whine about cover prices and shit like that. But it's like, I really love this shit. And whenever I do anything for people, whether it's free or whether it's a $10 ticket, $20 ticket, whatever, like I prepare for that. And like it's a true art behind that shit. And I want people to understand that like, even if I'm not getting paid for it, even if I'm not getting 200,000 views on my YouTube or getting 1 million listens on SoundCloud, like this is just what I love to do. Like, and I was telling y'all beforehand, like I've been doing this for years because a lot of people don't know that I'm the age that I am, which I'm proudly 30. And but like a lot, and which if that fucked me up too, I ain't gonna lie. I turned 30. I was like, God,
You
damn,
look younger.
bro.
I thought you was younger.
No, people. I
You
got
got a good
a
skincare routine?
20.
What you be doing?
I don't be doing shit.
Yeah, I thought you was like,
I do nothing but like eat like white chocolate Reese's and Doritos. Like I eat like shit. Like I eat like, younger than my age. But fucking, I got a 21-year-old brother. Crazy enough, and people be thinking that me and him are closer in age, and I'm like, nah,
damn.
bro. But
Okay.
yeah, like I've been doing stuff for a while, And so yeah, I don't know where the fuck I was going.
Well, no, the reason I want to hold you up because you're saying a whole lot of stuff I want to comment on, like some good shit.
Please
Like,
interject.
we
'Cause
just
I
talk-
when I tell you, I'm gonna be real with you. I like to talk respectfully. Like, I
No,
like
and we
to
like
talk.
it.
Let's go.
No, we like it. We just
I will
want to.
talk to motherfuckers because I'm gonna be real with you. Y'all like the first people asked me to do a podcast, so I was like,
I don't know. I feel like you're the most active from what I'm not like
Yeah.
familiar with the DJ scene, but when I started like going out last year, because after I think they started closing out O'Shea's and then Sully's wasn't
Sully's,
like
yeah.
everything was closed down. It was all about like the music sucked. Like
Yeah.
at every bar, it was always some how white people play. Somehow
Yeah.
Yale will come on,
Yeah.
and then it was always some early something.
wedding shit. You
Yeah,
like,
some
God
weak
damn
shit.
it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, we got to start following the DJ. So I remember you just kept popping up, and then like certain events, because I remember I went to the Pierre Bourne. You was,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's where
man,
I
I
seen you.
opened
I
up
was
for
like,
that, yeah.
oh shit. And then I just keep
Played a
seeing
whole
you.
lot of Red the whole fucking time. That's all those kids wanted to hear.
Yeah.
That nudie, I was like, God damn. Dog, when I tell you, I played a Young Dolph song. I played, Young Dolph had just passed away. And I'm like, who in here fucks with Young Dolph? And I wasn't really crazy.
Okay.
I was in
I'm
there.
not
I
like-
said, man.
Dog, when I tell you, I played
this
this song. I can't fuck with these niggas. And nobody was like, I was like,
Nah,
dog,
that's
what the
crazy.
fuck? And I was like, it's 14-year-old motherfuckers, man. Like,
right,
it fucked me up. And now, I know how to play. I would have played Destroy Lonely. And you know what I mean? By the
Right,
time I
right,
wasn't
right.
really too tapped in with that
Right.
world. So I was like, what the fuck is going on
It fucked
right
me
now?
up seeing all the white kids for Pierre Bourne, because I was like, I feel like as a rapper, when you see like, oh, I'm a rapper, and then your whole demographic is
I'm going to come clean. That shit hurts me, respectfully.
Nah, I get it.
I and we can get deeper in that, but that shit hurts me. But you know what's funny? I got a TikTok that I posted like either like early last year, like a year ago sometime, and it was after that Pierre Bourne show, and it was when they went crazy to Love Sosa by Chief Keef. Dog, why that shit go randomly viral? Like
Oh,
just I'm
shit.
talking about like a few months ago. Like I got
Wow.
like and like it's baby viral. It's like 34,000, but I'm like, dog. I remember playing Love Sosa and these kids. Shout to my boy Bennett works at Oneness because he was like one of the motherfuckers out there just starting riots and shit. And they just made a big ass fucking circle. And then Love Sosa dropped it like, oh, and I'm like, yo, like it was hilarious. And so Francis, he got a like an aerial like footage too, like where he was up top and whatnot. And then the clip that went viral was the one of me and my cell phone like behind the DJ booth, just
Right.
like these kids going crazy for this song. It was like the ones because I kept wanting that moment and they
Right.
was just not give it to me. And then Chief Keef came on, or like if it wasn't Cardi, they just wasn't fucking with it. Chief Keef came on, they was like, oh, it's nuts, bro. And that shit just went viral. And I was like, and it's all because they put that shit behind some I think respectfully, please do not be on some bullshit with me, y'all. And I'm being as respectful as possible. I think it was a crowd of Jewish folks.
Oh,
Oh no!
Okay.
And I'm just saying,
okay.
I think it's a crowd, and they just like jumping up. You know how TikTok they'll just put like a sound up behind it, so they use
got
my
you,
sound.
got you,
So
got
they
you,
use my
got you,
sound.
got you,
That
got you,
TikTok
got
has
you.
millions.
Okay.
But people were coming back to my page, and then mine got like, I think it's like hitting like 35,000 or something. 'Cause I still get likes
Wow.
on it. Like I be getting a hella notification just off that one video. Granted, now I'll be posting my little house stuff and nothing. You know, it's crickets.
Yeah.
They're like,
I'm
ew, what
whatever.
music?
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean? So
No, but okay. Shit, see, you're good. You're good. This is good. Let's go back to Dime FM real quick. So I was listening to one of your episodes, and it sounded like you said, you're genreless, right? Like you like to make sure that you kind of reach. It sounds like you try to reach everything that you like.
yeah, but also like touch on. I think my whole brand is showing the nuance of being a black man
Okay.
and understanding now, especially the more that I've been getting in the house. Shout out to my boy Talim Shug, who is somebody who really educated me on that shit. And just showing that that's just black music too. 'Cause
Right.
it's crazy. It'd be so funny. People came to like, we've been doing stuff at Gravely. Shout out to my boy Aaron Chadwell and JP that they're part of. It's called Wanna Dance, this organization. They just been hosting stuff at Gravely Brewery. And like somebody came to my shit, they was like, man, Dom, he was playing a bunch of white shit. I'm like, Dom playing house music by black people the whole time. It be fucking me up. People don't even be. And granted, every so now and then I throw like, I be trolling, so like I play Nickelback. I don't give a fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like I troll people. It's just goofy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And people take it too serious. And I guess I played like like a Kelly Clarkson song, but like it was just funny, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or it also it's just a good fucking song. It was like, oh, he's playing, and it'd be so funny now, like with people, because like I really feel like I'm switching up, like how people perceive me,
Right.
and so now it's just kind of like a drawback of being like, oh well, he's playing this shit. I'm like, dog. So with Dom FM, it's just like I really, because when I started DJing, this is before Steve Lacy was as big as he was.
Okay.
And before everybody was listening to the internet and stuff like that. And it's like playing like Tyler the Creator and Childish Gambino. You could not hear that anywhere in the city.
No.
Man, I'm still trying to find Childish Gambino.
You feel
Only
me?
time
I
worked
play.
at-
I play it sometime. I played Heartbeat the other day at Gravely, actually. Like, so that's why I'm saying, like, it was playing artists and unblack artists in spaces that were for black people to be like, hey, I love playing other parties too, where other, more street artists and more like of that rappers play. I play that shit too, but it's just like, cause I don't want it to seem like some elitist shit right now. Like, I'm not on that. I fuck with everything and I play everything, but also I want to spread light to stuff that doesn't get spread light on.
Right.
And so, I was just playing that type of stuff or whatnot. Like we was doing. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Side and Fines. God rest Alex, who owned that space. He was a black owner in the city who came from hardcore scene. So me and him really connected a whole lot because, speaking of the nuance of black people and whatnot, like he was in the hardcore scene, and he opened up a space that was for everybody. That really crafted my career as a DJ, because I started DJing over there, and we were getting to mix everybody. So we were getting the hipsters, we was getting hood niggas, we was getting Chaz, we was getting everybody in that motherfucker, and it was a vibe because it was a certain standard, and we were setting boundaries,
That's dope.
I would say that's the one thing I don't like. I don't like about EDM is how it got whitewashed, because you got Chicago house and then techno started in Detroit.
Yeah.
So it's like some people be like, oh, that's white people music. I'm like, this shit started from black people. Same thing with rock. It's like we started it, and then I don't know what happens. Something happens, and then white people take over.
Because go ahead.
No, please.
It just seems like all music that's good has a certain type of quality. I think most people are just looking for quality music when it comes down to it. Mm-hmm. So I can get quality music from a Lil Yachty, from a Lil Baby. Mm-hmm. I can also get quality music from Coldplay. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like people are just they're listening for something that sounds good. So, and then if you think about it, it's like, well, if you look at all these genres, like y'all were saying, it looked like black people kind of had a hand in.
Not even kind of, they made it.
You know what I'm saying?
We started it, and then somebody just took over. So it's like,
I should be able to listen to whatever, really.
But that's how I play.
Right.
And so I think it takes people back here because stuff is so segregated here. Mm-hmm. And so you'll go to a spot and they only playing this shit. You'll go to a spot and they only playing that shit. Even in my mix with Dom FM, I play Ain't I by Young LA and Young Dro and T.I. still when I was playing drum and bass. And then I don't know if it was drum and bass song that I was playing, but I was playing something like Of That Speed and then switched to Ain't I or whatnot because that's halftime. But still, I was like, yo, like I want to play. So it's just people aren't accustomed to just mixing shit. Especially in Kentucky, where this is a very like segregated space, and that's why, like and shout out to my boy Kalen Alexander who does Louisville, and I know a lot of my Lexington friends get upset when we say that, and I see where people from Louisville are coming from with that, but it's like, dog, this is still Kentucky,
yeah,
and we are still in a very majority white space. That's why we was only having to go to places on fucking Baxter or whatnot, Baxter's, fucking St. Matthews and shit like that. So that's why I was happy when people figured out that I was a DJ, because I was like, yo, I'm gonna come clean. I'm busting these DJs' ass, who's over it too, because like you get to hear music that you really fuck with. Granted, I might play like some very popular fucking song, but also like I always make it a point to play like some random shit to where like, say if I'm in St. Matthews and I play some random ass Yachty song, you gonna be like, damn, this nigga knows. And it would always be a group of like black. They'd be like, yo, you heard what he just played? And it would fuck them up.
I get what you're saying.
And I would start playing and I'd be like, yo, I got this all day. Like, because people will catch me in something. They're like, oh, he can only do that shit. And I'm like, nah, I'm always, my favorite quote from my favorite artist, and I know people feel weird about him right now. Ye, he fucking said, when they start to like you, make them unlike you. Kissing people ass is so unlike you. I say that shit all the time, dog. And I feel like with people in general, people everywhere, not even just here, they get comfortable with stuff. Yeah. And so when you make them feel uncomfortable about something, they immediately like, man, fuck that shit. This is whack. And I'm like, whole time. And now I'm on a point now, especially like I really, Cause it'd be like I used to see niggas be tweeting at that when I was doing High Horse and stuff, like, oh, these niggas play the same shit. I'm like, you niggas don't like listening to nothing. But what I do now is like I make people. I don't care no more. I'm like, I'd rather you not like me for what I want to do than you not like me for some shit that I don't want to do.
Right.
And so I make it a point to just keep it fresh and keep it new.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I was ever losing that, but I do feel like you start to make money, you get comfortable, and I'm like, all right, Dom, you getting comfortable, so let's fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like, let's keep these motherfuckers on their toes and shit. Because that's why I feel like people like me in the first place, because it was people who, like, didn't get to hear the shit that they listened to at the crib or in their car. Or, you know what I mean? And I felt like I was playing that shit, like, that different, that shit that was just like, you know what I mean? Like, before the Tame Impalas and shit was getting played up. Because, like, people don't understand, before the quarantine, like, going out Louisville was pretty basic. Outside of Brunch and Beats, outside of the pull-up, outside of what War and Peace was doing, outside of those spaces and whatnot, but that wasn't consistent enough. The most consistent stuff was going on was the St. Matthews stuff. They would only have their parties like once a month or something like that. You know what I mean? If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. You know, it's love.
You can name the 4 or 5 bars that we were all going to in that 17, 16 to.
And you probably don't even remember
20.
those DJs.
Oh, not
at all. You know what I mean?
I was about to ask you if you ever did Gerstels, because one time Furthest Thing came on by Drake.
Yeah, it was.
And I was like,
and you remember that moment?
That's crazy.
No, I remember that moment, bro, because we all got hyped as fuck.
Yeah.
How did they not play Drake? That
fucks me up.
I'm like, Drake,
Beyonce, low key,
like yes. But if they play Beyonce, they'll play all the way back, Single Ladies, Bonnie and Clyde. Like, bro, she dropped 7 albums since then. Like,
I think that goes back to what you were saying about people not wanting to pay cover charges and shit.
They don't appreciate the art, man.
Where it's like, if you're, okay, so they don't want to do that, but then you're going to, like you said, Sully's, Gershels, Tin Roof, Baxter's, O'Shea's, you're paying that same cover charge.
To listen to a nigga who don't give a fuck about y'all.
Listening to the exact same mix you listened to last week.
Same thing. You know when the song is going to hit.
Just because it's lit, just because it's fat. And that's why, somebody came to one of my functions one time. It was me and my homegirl, shout out DJ D Nasty, one of the best DJs in the city. One of the best DJs just out, period, type shit. We just did an event over at Gravely this past weekend. And it was me and her. We played at World Tiger. If he hears this, I'm sorry. I told him in person, I said, yo, don't ever, like, whatever. But, because I tell people straight up. What happened was he was like, there was a fucking ice storm this day. It was in February. It was an ice storm. We didn't really have that many people come to the event, maybe like 30 to 40 people, and I may be like up in that number because I don't want to sound more embarrassed. And so it wasn't that many people there, but me and D Nasty was rocking out. Like, I almost dropped another government name. We was rocking out. You know what I mean? And so dude says to me, he's like, man, I'm sorry, like, more people weren't here. I feel like your shit should always be fat. And I told him straight up, I said, bro, I don't care about the volume of people at my spot. I care about the value. And the few people that we did have was dancing the whole night. That's all I give a fuck about. People really don't get that shit. Like, granted, money-wise, it's nice to have a nice amount of people when you charging a door fee or whatnot. But artistically, I have failed you if you're not out there enjoying yourself. Respectfully. And granted, sometimes, but that's also relative to, like, what you like and shit, because maybe I fucking, like, did a good job if you didn't enjoy yourself, because maybe you on some basic shit.
Right.
But, like, regarding, like, people dancing and enjoying themselves and listening to new music, I'm like, or not even listening to new music, but just different shit and just stuff that you just going to enjoy yourself to. Like, that's all I care about. And I told that to him, too. I said, bro, don't ever come to my shit, like, worried about, like, how many people's there. And that's one thing that pisses me off when people are like, how fat is it? I'm like, dog, the first question I ask is, who's spinning?
What's the music like,
What's
bro?
the music like? What they playing in there?
Now, since we done kind of got older, it's like, if I'm going out, I'm trying to hang out with the people I came out with, for real. So, like, I don't really care who's there, because I already got the people I want to be there. So, it's like, okay, so what's the music like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, if I know you spinning or someone else that's kind of like of that same type of mind frame, I'm like, all right, cool. If it's just us in here, well, at least we know we're going to get some just
and
whatever.
There's people that just be coming to my shit, and they've seen it to where not too many people there.
Right.
Shout out to my boy Rolly. Shout out to my boy Hendo. Them two niggas will slide for me, and it's just like, there may not be nobody there, and they like, damn, we know you going to give a vibe. Like, Shit, we had Earl Sweatshirt and Black Noise or whatnot for Forecastle, and not too many people even said to that, but like the people who came there was like, damn, Dom, you on your shit. Like I'm like, yes, bro, like just what it is. You know what I mean? Like and Black Noise to DJ with us, even Earl, he was low key with DJing too because he was picking out songs and shit. But it's just like, man, I can't worry about the amount of people that's coming out to shit because also like we live in a city where like we're still having to educate these people how to go out. Yes. And that's really what the DJ's job is. And these venues' job is just educating people on what it is. Educating them on boundaries. Educating them be like, quit fucking asking me to play fucking songs. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, leave me alone, bro. Like, I'm playing this shit. You asked me to play Just Wanna Rock at 10:30 in the fucking night. Like, come on, bro.
Right.
Somebody asked that shit that I was like, dog, it is early, bro. Like, I never forget. We at Sci-Fi. I sound crazy right now, y'all, and I'm sorry. A lot of people are like, damn, I not know this dude's this much of a dickhead. Whatever. Fucking, I never forget.
We're showing true colors on here.
The exclusive energy, I like it.
And I don't even mean to be like that, but it's just like I really don't think people see the other side of DJing because it's like people trip about covers and shit. Meanwhile, I spend like $30 to $40 to $50 a week on Bandcamp downloading different songs from artists who aren't like insanely big, who definitely have a following, but aren't like Beyonce and Drake and doing crazy streaming numbers. So I buy that shit directly from them. So it'd be so funny, like when people don't, or I'm buying my equipment, or I'm like paying for this Serato program because you know nothing. You can just buy. You can't just buy a program no more. You got to pay a monthly subscription for it.
Right.
And so it's just like all of that shit. And so it's just like people be like tripping about that stuff, and I'm like, dog, I'm not even charging you like some crazy shit because I know what it is, man. And like. Even for New Year's Eve, we did a $15 party or whatnot, which is pretty absurd for a New Year's Eve party. Not absurd, but pretty like insane.
That's a good price.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You try to charge 50 and shit to just show my damn.
And granted, we was doing that at a smaller space, and so I was like, man, I can't charge people a crazy amount because I'm not. This isn't the most grandiose place. And shout out to Red Bull, like it was a nice space. It just wasn't like some big event space, crazy decorated. Me and my girl went to go get decorations at fucking Party City and shit. I decked it out. And it was a great fucking night, but it's just like people. It'd be so crazy with people because they be saying little shit and they think it's like. I don't really like speak. I never want to seem like I'm hating on a consumer. I really just want. I want people to understand like this is me educating you. So if I seem a little frustrated about it, it is what it is. It's life. You know what I mean? Right. But it's just like I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit, respectfully. So it's just what it is. But it's just. I feel like there needs to be education in Louisville because I get a lot of just like questions and people just wondering why we do stuff the certain way we do, and I'm just like, y'all, like, come on, like, work with me. You feel me? Like,
no, I think it's good because we when we go out, we have these conversations about DJs. Like we're like, bro, I got a whole playlist in my phone right now that you could be doing. Like, so it's nice to have someone who's like, no, I focus on that shit. Like, I'm passionate about it. And then also, this is what you got to see on the other end. Like, if I'm going to take time out of what I'm doing to be like, really like, I want to give these people a good show. I think you're old, whatever you charge. I've never had a problem. I've paid.
But I ain't going to lie. I used to be a hating ass nigga.
But
for prices. And then we started doing the podcast. And I started doing that Adobe Premiere fucking subscription every month.
Exactly.
Like, damn, nigga,
it costs to create.
I was like, this equipment expensive.
People don't get it. So y'all just told me how much all this equipment costs. I'm just like, dog, people don't get it, man. I'm like,
it costs to create
dog,
quality.
Like, I'm not just, and I also I think it's an issue with the DJs who are doing stuff around. It's like, I take this shit serious, man.
Right.
And just like I told y'all, especially with Dom FM. It gives me opportunity to be looking up new music all the time because I start feeling like I start slacking for a little bit. I was like, man, I need to get on my shit. And this is not the only reason I started Diamond FM, but it is one of the benefits of starting that shit because I'm like, if I'm doing something bi-weekly, I have to have. I'm not trying to do repeats on my stuff.
Right.
Not for a while at least. You know what I mean? Exactly. Now if it's a year later and I want to play it, so I'm like, okay, cool. This feels fitting. But like right now, I'm like, I want to keep finding new music and stuff, and so. People don't get that, man, with stuff. And people telling you what you should. I'll never forget. Me and my buddy, me and Francis, I call him Frank. We were designing some merch that we made for a show that I was doing at, what was it called? Against the Grain Brewery. It used to be downtown. I don't know if it's still down there, right by Slugger. And so I used to do rap shows a lot or whatnot. And so the price on the shirt was $30, which to me, Like, I've been buying shit from Supreme and Stussy for years. $30 on it. It's like a good price for a t-shirt. Because I bought a Blondie t-shirt from Frank Ocean. I spent $90. Which, shout out to Frank Ocean. I was pissed that he charged that much. I was like, damn, nigga, I have to buy this now.
Right.
That was the only reason I was like, damn,
gosh.
I'm pissed I'm about to buy it. Because I knew I was. You feel me?
Yeah.
You went in knowing I'm gonna buy
You
this.
feel me? Like, I was like, fuck, I have to get this shirt. And so fucking, I never forget somebody was like, why are you charging that much? To me, that feels like you're attacking my art and telling me what I'm worth. I don't fuck with that. I get pissed the fuck off with that shit. And when people's in person, I understand people's ignorance, so that's why I'm not on Facebook. And I said Facebook. Look, I'm old.
All right. Show your age now.
I'm not
the
on,
first one he listed.
I'm not on Instagram and Twitter and shit. I feel like it's a fine line where it seems like I'm being a dickhead about it. Right now, we're just talking about stuff, so
Right.
like it feels fine to like. I don't want to say vent because that sounds aggressive too, but also just like I said, educate
Being
people
honest.
on what it
Yeah,
is and
yeah.
be honest.
Because a lot of people don't want to have those conversations.
And if I do that at a bar while I'm drunk as fuck, it's gonna sound crazy as a motherfucker. They gonna be like, bro, what are you on? But like doing it right now, it's just I just really want people to understand like you said, being creative costs, especially when you want to do your shit the right way.
Right.
Y'all could have easily just like had one fucking microphone, like I told y'all we was doing or whatnot, and
We
it
used to be on a lunch table.
you know what I mean? And now y'all, you upgrading your stuff as you should be, and that's and with DJing too. It's like, man, I started to buy vinyl now. You buying a better DJ equipment, you know, like that stuff costs, dog. And then like, don't let your last derby or whatnot, motherfucker, fucking like spilled drink on my fucking
That's
laptop.
one
I had
thing
I had to buy a brand new laptop. I had 3 events last year. I had one on Thursday. That shit happened on Friday. I had to go buy a new laptop. All my music was on that laptop.
Oh my
I had
so
to
you gotta go.
I had to figure everything out so people don't be getting that shit. I'm like, dog, I was stressed out. I ain't have sex with my girl for 2 weeks because I was so stressed about Derby. Dog, organizing parties like that is insane. And then I make my flyers too, so I'm paying for Premiere. I'm paying for Photoshop. People don't even know this shit.
Yeah.
And I don't even let them know because I'm like, I'm such a person. I'm like, if you know, you know, or when you figure out, you be like, damn. I don't brag about a lot of shit. I really don't. Like, and I am right now, respectfully, but it's just like,
talk your shit.
I don't, because it's just like, I really feel like I like people to just figure shit out for themselves.
Right.
Or in a situation, they're like, damn, nigga, it's equipment. You know, that's just what it is. And like me, how I was raised, my pops was always like, man, if you want to do something, do it. Right. So that means spending some bread on some shit and like worrying about like, you know what I mean? If your laptop gets fucked up, all right, cool. I got some bread that I made from the night before. I'm cool. I can go buy because my credit's fucked up right now, and Apple ain't fucking me on a credit card. So I had to buy that bitch straight from my like dead ass. Yeah, during the quarantine, I was fucking up PayPal credit. Dead ass.
We was in a pandemic and
Oh my god.
I was trying to run it up.
So yeah.
No. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You got it.
Go ahead, Dallas.
No, please, I insist.
Look
Rock,
at
paper,
look
scissors.
at how calm they are right now, y'all.
Yeah.
That's a dead ass. Go ahead. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, shoot. All right, go ahead. You got it.
All right. Shit. Now,
Okay.
go ahead, Dallas.
No, yeah.
I ain't over it.
You wasted.
All right, here.
The
He's
lights was
revoked.
bright. Look.
Yeah.
Too
So you're
bright.
talking about quality over quantity of people at the party. I think when we were younger, it was all about however many people are in there.
Mhm.
We wanted as fat as hell, all that shit.
Yeah.
But now that you talk about like, okay, I want my music to be heard and I want people to be able to dance and all this other shit. When it was fat like that, we were not dancing. Like
You couldn't.
You
Yeah.
making like a little circle if you can, and that's about it. But like now, when we're older, we want. I don't want it to be
No.
fat like that.
And
I'm
you wanna
trying to
be
get my
able-
shit off dancing.
And you want to be able to go to the bar, get your drink,
Right.
let you
I'm
be
not
with a
trying to
lady.
sit
You don't
there
want her
and
get her
line for
shit
30
off, step on.
minutes.
You feel me, dog?
That's the thing, too.
And I will say, it's a double-edged sword because I love playing at fat parties. So when How Horse used to be like that, dog,
Now when
the
it's
lights
like
was
that-
bright for me, and I felt like I was Kobe getting 81. You feel me? Respectfully.
But see, that's the thing. 'cause
And I
if it's-
love getting that crowd rocking in that motherfucker. Like, there's no feeling like, because there's no feeling like playing for hundreds of people
Right.
and seeing them all turn up and turn the music
Fucking with your
down and all
shit.
motherfuckers
Right.
sang back with you. You like, what? Like, I never forget on Halloween, I was drunk out of my fucking mind, respectfully. And fucking Michi's doing his thing. And I never forget, I was just like, I be so focused on DJ. If you've ever seen a serious photo of me DJing, I'm not smiling. I look stupid as shit because I'm focused. And so I'm in there just doing my thing. I look up, and I'm talking about every part of High Horse was as fat as it could be. That's when I'll show y'all a video right now. Like I think my buddy went and took a video of the line. It was nuts, and I'll never forget looking up and being like, "Holy fuck!" So I do love quantity, but also
there's a moment
with what I'm doing right now. I don't mind starting with smaller numbers or whatnot. Like in the Bible says, where 2 or 3 or more gathered. You know what I mean? But fucking, I'm joking. I'm not a Christian like that. If y'all are, respect to you. But but it's just like, man, I really want to just like, I want to see people see me build something instead of it being a bunch of people who don't give a fuck, honestly. Because like when I was playing a High Horse, I'm playing differently. I'm playing more shit that people know because I have to do that in that moment. You know what I mean? Or else it's just gonna be like, what is going on right now? Like I can't. Reaching that many people is tough on some like brand new shit unless they all come on the same. Unless it's a bunch of fucking white kids that see fucking Pierre Bourne, then they get it. You know what I mean? But it's just like you get people that worked all fucking week and stuff like that. They want to hear some shit they know. You know what I mean? They want to hear the Glorrillas, the Megs. They want to shake their ass, all of that shit, and I got that for you. But then with the Diamond FM stuff and the more events and ABX and stuff like that, when we're doing more stuff where we're playing different shit that people aren't accustomed to, and the only house music that people do know in the city is EDM, it's okay, cool. Like Gravely, we may have had like 100 people this weekend, but that's fine. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, cool. And the people who stayed, they were enjoying the fuck out of themselves. And that's what I care about. Because then I'm like, when we can get it to those numbers, then it's like, it's more the people who still have that same intent. It's just more people now. And I know that, I know how to build shit. That's literally what I've been doing these past few years. So I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm just chilling because my boy Jared says, he used to say this up to me all the time. If you build it, they'll come. And so all I'm doing right now with Diamond FM, I don't get that many numbers streaming or whatnot. None of that shit. But I'm not tripping. I'm building something for then when niggas be like, damn, this nigga got a radio station for himself. Oh yeah. Oh shit, he got all these fucking episodes, bro. I done recorded more mixes than I did last year. Actually, the same amount of them, but still, like, it's March. Right. I done recorded the same amount of mixes that I did
for the whole year.
12-month span. You feel me, dog? Like, and that's an accomplishment for myself. I put that on my Instagram. So I was like, yo, this is like really sick that I did this. So, yeah, man.
No, but that's cool. I like the whole concept of, because I was listening in my car to one of your episodes. And I was like, oh shit, this kind of do feel like back in the not the old days, but back in like the early 2000s, where like they would
20 years ago,
where they would have like you remember like when they would give like somebody would actually be on the radio and it wouldn't just be like commercial shit, like where they would just be like, it's like 5 commercials, they come in, okay, this song, and then hop back out. They would be like speaking for a little bit with like some music maybe in the background.
Man, literally shout out to Martin, bro. Like when I had promoted, like Martin, he was Martin Lawrence in the show Martin.
Okay. I was like,
I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like,
I was like, okay, but I know,
And so in that show, he was a radio host,
right,
or I guess a VJ. And so not a VJ, a radio DJ. I said a VJ. I'm talking about fucking MTV right now. But he's a radio DJ. And that's what, like, literally, if you go look at my Instagram, I have the promo for Diamond FM. I didn't even say anything. I just posted a video of him laying back, talking on the microphone. I had this Drake edit that I found on Bandcamp, and it's just the Diamond FM logo spinning. I didn't want to say anything. I was like, man, fuck it. It's going to be what it's going to be. Like, because I didn't want people, I don't know, I just didn't want to, like, do, like, some crazy, like, yo, this is what I'm doing. Because I was like, I really don't know what I'm doing. It's just going to be, it may be different in, like, next week or whatnot, but, like, that's why I'm happy that people are just like figuring it out. And they're like, all right, we don't really know what it is, but it's cool. And I like my boy said the same thing. He said, man, I was like cooking in the kitchen and I played Diamond FM. And so I like that you say you just in the car, like it's just regular shit. You know what I mean? Like it ain't even like some where you gotta like pay attention the whole time. Like, man, have that shit on while you cleaning the house.
Right, because I mean, I feel like, and I don't even really listen to the radio that much anymore, but it does feel like it feels disconnected. Like now, because they do all that syndication stuff. Yeah. So it's like it might be somebody from New York talking but it ain't no connection to the city. Yeah. But you be like on some of the episodes talking about Louisville and stuff like that, and what you doing. And so it's like, no, I feel like, it feels like there's a connection back to the old type radio, but the new feel where you can literally be at 3 a.m., okay, let me turn on Diamond FM and, get the same effect. Like, it's not scheduled programming. So I think it's a real dope
it would be cool to
concept.
do like some sort of thing where I stream it live, but like Twitch, they don't like if it's a song that's copyrighted, they'll take it off. So that's why because some people thought I was originally gonna do it on Twitch, and I was like, nah, man, because anytime I was streaming on Twitch, they just take the songs off, and maybe I'll do some sort of like live events at the crib, and I'll do with Twitch, but I like just putting it up on YouTube because I know, which I did have issue because the last mix I put out had a Prince sample on that motherfucker, and Prince did not play about his shit at all, and YouTube took my shit down after it took, and y'all know about this, after it took me like fucking like 2.5 hours to render this hour-long fucking video, dog, and then uploading it to YouTube is another hour and a half. I was like, fuck, so I had to just mute that little part or whatnot, but yeah, YouTube took it down or whatnot, so.
I think my favorite part about it, because like you said, especially with us growing up and shit, I don't have time to listen to new music or go out and look for new music like I used to be able to.
On Smash used to be a daily routine for me.
Yeah, man.
Free on Smash, but now I'm like,
hot new hip hop was for me.
Yep.
Man. Yeah.
It's like.
But now you can turn this on, and I heard maybe 1 or 2 songs on each episode that I listened to beforehand, and the rest is all new. So for me, because I love music, I just don't have the time to dedicate to it like I used to. But now I'm getting this brand new, because I was not a big house music guy, and I don't even know if I am now, to be honest. Like, but it's a lot of that too is like you said, we never heard that shit here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not hearing that shit going out.
Yeah.
Hell no.
This is a brand new entire genre for us that we're just now getting acclimated to.
Yeah.
Right. It is like, because like you see it on TV, like you'll see clubs that play music like that, and then you go to where we go, and it's like, Hey Ya, which is a great song, but Outkast has more songs, guys. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't even get to.
And that goes back to it being where you going.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at some times, like, you got to play a Hey Ya because fucking Becky been asking me to play this shit the whole fucking night. Or, like, I know that they going to know it, so it's going to let me win the crowd over. Because, like, one thing I do is if I'm out playing and if I ain't getting nobody, I'm going to play a Drake song. Motherfuckers gonna get turned up to Drake. People be like, man, you playing too much Drake. I'm like, fuck you. This nigga makes great music, man.
Right.
But it depends. But I mean, that's really what it was too. Dollar Film is just like prepping the crowd for what I want to actually do.
Right.
So I like that you said that you weren't hearing that shit out, and so it's cool to like listen to. Usually, like I don't know if I am a house person because our shit, you know, we thinking about like H&M and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out to I don't fuck with fast fashion anyway. So it's just like it fucks me up with that stuff because it's like I feel like they low key kind of ruin people be interested in that shit because all you think is like fucking like Forever 21 playing that shit. You're like, man, fuck that music. Because when Drake put out fucking Honestly Nevermind, people and I was like, dog, this shit is. I was hyped he did that because I thought he was gonna do it with
Views.
More Life. It was More Life. It was more. I think it was More Life. It was More Life, and he didn't. And I remember in an interview he said I wanted to be more on the house and Afrobeats tip. No, dance. He said dance because honestly, that rhyme was really just more dance music.
Right.
And he was just like, but I couldn't because I know my fans. But then he put out that joint with 21 Savage, and I was like, see, this is for the Drake. Because he went crazy on that motherfucker. But
yeah, thank you
for acknowledging
that.
Motherfucker's nuts.
Thank you. That song is in my top 10.
I'm not talking about that song. I'm talking about the album.
Oh, you mean the album?
You know what's crazy? I barely listened to that song.
Really?
And probably only played that song out like once or twice. I like that. I like Honestly Nevermind what it was. I knew
me too.
He put that song on there for niggas to be like, so he'd be like, I still have it.
No, that's why I'm not trying to do a whole Drake thing.
Which that song was crazy.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
No, that song was 200% crazy.
I loved Honestly Nevermind.
Yeah.
I loved it because I was like, listen, I was expecting something else, but then I still have an appreciation for that house type dance music. So I'm like, oh shit, I could actually listen to one of my favorite artists do this type of music too, because he
has the ability to do that, and I like playing those songs out more. You know what I mean? Like fucking Passion Fruit, Hotline Bling. That's a joint he got with Janae. Like Drake has those type of dance songs, and when I saw people was so thrown off, I said, y'all, he been doing this shit.
Yeah, it wasn't that new to me. It was like. He's an expensive.
But now I feel you on that song because that song was
No, I was just
Definitely
like,
crazy.
I was always like, well, this shit's crazy for look
I
throwaway.
thought that album, him
Yeah,
and
I like
21
that
was
one, too.
fucking nuts. I said, oh shit, he put this out, and I had to be like, he put this out for the Dick Riders, which respectfully, I love my nigga Drake. You know what I mean? So I was not mad at it.
It worked.
Like,
Not
he
bad at
knew
all.
what he was doing with that, because motherfuckers was like really chewing him out for that. And he was like, I'm gonna shit on y'all now, and went nuts with that shit. Like,
So, what do you think about Yachty? He did an interview when he was like, I want to be taken more seriously as an artist, and I feel like with hip hop, people look at me as, oh, I'm just the mumble rap guy, or I'm just the rapping guy. And I don't get that big acclaim that he's looking for that. So he does. I haven't listened to it, but you told me the newer album, and he's done it a couple times.
I got a remix. I got a remix of one of those songs on my last mix too. I thought it was. At first, I wasn't even into it, but then I started really listening to it. And I looked at his videos and stuff. I was like, damn, this is really fucking dope.
But I remember you put something on your story about that. You had something, and I guess somebody was like, I forgot what exactly it was, but it was pretty much like, instead of going away, we just letting too many folks in of hip hop.
Did I say that?
It was some screen. You put a screenshot up.
Oh, my boy Coop said that.
About
my boy. So, and man, I don't think I even put his name on there too. So I'm Coop. I'm sorry, but that's what it
But
was.
I agreed with him.
I forgot what he said, but it was something like that. Like, we do be letting too many motherfuckers into our culture, but to be honest, have we ever owned our culture? Nah, man. White people always fucking owned the rap industry. I'm pretty sure they were the one that made it business anyway. So it's just like, we've never owned our culture. So it's crazy to say that. But I mean, what Yachty saying that, I mean, it's like, I still say that I'm a rapper.
Okay.
Because so many motherfuckers be like, I'm on some different shit. But also, I do feel him because, like, people don't take him serious. And like, Yachty got some shit. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of everything he does, but Yachty, like, I mean, he did that Detroit tape, which was crazy. And then, I mean, like, I thought Poland was a crazy fucking song, which I feel like it like, kind of came and went. Like, but I guess he didn't really focus on it too hard, so that's probably why. But, and I like the last album, but it's just, you know, people just be experimenting and they want to say that I'm not a rapper shit, but man, rap is everything. Yeah, like, I love hip hop. You feel me? So
yeah, and that's what I never understood either, because if you look at the charts and stuff, like hip hop,
it's the biggest genre.
It's the biggest genre. So I don't. It's definitely. I mean, we know it's.
I think it's because people let white folk be like,
yeah,
rap's unserious. Just like when people be like, you can always tell like people who are like real music heads. I always know if they're racist, they say some shit about jazz isn't real music.
Yeah.
So then I'm like,
which is wild.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're like, it's just not something about not structured, some shit. So I think it's just because you associate rap music with black people, so they automatically be like, well, it can't be that serious because you know they are here shucking and driving and just saying some words together. And it's like, I get why he said he needed to like, and I understand like why artists are like, oh,
and that's how I saw both sides of it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it's like, I mean, you still a legitimate artist if you're just a rapper. Like exactly. That shit poetry, nigga. That's fucking niggas love. What's his name that wrote the plays back in the day?
Not Mozart. Shakespeare.
That's like, nigga, he's modern day Shakespeare's up here on here. So it's like,
that's the funny part is because 50 or more years than that from now, somebody's gonna look at a Yachty as like a, you know, like
they're gonna
this
be
guy was.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Like
they're gonna be studying him as someone who was like really, you know, trying to help change the culture or move it forward.
No, hip hop is everything, man. So that's when people do say stuff. I can see where hip hop fans do get offended by that, but also, I don't think Yachty intended for it to be like that. I think he's just like, man, like, I'm an artist, which he is, but you know, and I guess you wouldn't consider what he just put out rap. I remember like when Justin Bieber was upset because his shit wasn't. He got the Grammy for like, I think it was pop, but he was like, I wanted it for R&B. So that genre, it's tough. Genres is tough now, man, because it's just like everything's like.
But that's the thing.
Mixed up now.
It's weird because people expect someone, just because you're good at one thing, they expect you to only be good at that one thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you yourself as a listener is probably good at multiple things. Like, if I have this ability in music, I probably can do I can do more than rap. You know what I'm saying? I could sing.
I mean, should we see it with Drake? I mean, that's always singing and stuff, so yeah.
I don't think it helped with Yachty too, like him coming in. People weren't taking him seriously and telling him like, this isn't real hip hop. This isn't like, And he's like, bro, I'm just making music and having fun.
Man, they said the same thing to Thug, the Migos, all them motherfuckers.
Right.
And listen, I love Thug, man. Like, I love what the Migos is doing. When Rich Homie Quan, all them boys is on that run, like, I love all of that music, man. So at the end of the day, it's fucking music. It just depends on what's popping and what's not. And rap always seems to be up there. So, like, I also didn't watch that interview he said either. So I don't, cause I don't even think that when I had posted that thing what Coop had said, I don't think that was in regards to Yachty at all. I don't think so, cause I didn't even see that Yachty interview. So like I had to really watch that to like see how I really felt. But I mean I just get it from both sides, cause we want to be looked at as fucking like artists and stuff like that. And you know that album kind of had like touches of like the Tame Impalas and different like indie artists and bands and stuff like that. So you know he's like, man, like.
I think for him, he was more because people associate him as a mumble rapper, so that's why like they don't think it's real hip hop. Yeah. So I think it was just more like he was just like, I'm not a mumble rapper. Like I actually, and he actually puts album where he rap. Like he just had that Detroit album with all them people on there. It's like y'all just pick and choose what you want to.
It's just it'd be funny, man. Cause people be talking about what is and what isn't real hip hop, man. And it's like, how can you say something like Young Thug, who's like from the trenches, really got himself up out of the gutter? Talking about, you know, the shit that he saw, like, isn't, like, it always fucked me up when people be like, oh, this isn't conscious rap. I'm like, why is it not conscious? He's talking about what he's seeing right there.
Just because
they heard an 808, so it's it's a little different now.
And like, granted, like, I like, I guess, conscious rap, too. Like, I mean, Jay Electronica is probably my favorite rapper. Obviously, like, Mos Def, you know, fucking, I love,
Kendrick.
I love Kendrick. I mean, I just love music. You know what I mean? Shit, we was talking about Earl. Earl definitely, like, he a top 5 rapper ever type shit. You know what I mean? So it's just like I listen to what would be considered conscious, but I'm like, I love Dirk. I love Thug. I love G Herbo. I love shit. There's some Young Boy songs I fuck with real tough. Like I love it, and even like the Yeats and stuff like that. And like, I don't be too crazy tapped in, but like listen to what, you know, I got a few Destroy Lonely songs I fuck with. I love Playboy Cardi. Like I think that motherfucker like, but when he said bought a house for my mama on this mumbling shit, that's the hardest shit, dog. Like that's the like you tell me that's not rap. Like what? Like so it's just and like Dial It might be a top 10 album for me. I'm be honest, that's a classic, bro. Motherfuckers that we was talking. This is like when Clubhouse was popping. Motherfuckers was pissed. I said, yo, it was like some old New York hip hop nigga. I was like, yo, Dial It, one of the greatest hip hop albums ever. He was like, what the? And I was like, dog, Dial It's incredible, bro. Whole Lot of Red's fucking crazy as well too, but I love Dial It, dog. Like I'm a huge Cardi fan, and I fuck with how he's like literally created a subgenre within hip hop.
Right.
Like we don't get the Yeats, Destroy Lonelys, the Ken Carsons. Granted,
true.
Like most of those guys are signed to Opium. Like dog, Cardi's like I was looking at the Rolling Loud shit, and you just seeing a bunch of kids just like who want to be dressed in Rick and look like vampires and shit. I'm like, bro. Because the thing about it is with Cardi, like I got onto him super early because him and my buddy Francis were real close.
Okay.
And so Francis used to go back and forth from Atlanta, and he was just really close with Cardi. Cardi had like followed us on Tumblr years ago. And so when he was like Sir Cartier, I was on him. And I remember even then, I was like, bro, this nigga knows what he's doing. And so to see how big of an impact he has on culture now, bro, it's fucking crazy. I wasn't close with him at all. Yeah. But my best friend was like mad. Like they was just like, you know, real close and went on trips and shit together one night early in Cardi's career and whatnot. So like, it's crazy what people just be considering like hip hop and stuff. And I'm like, how can you tell all these kids that this motherfucker's not hip hop?
I mean,
ask them about a Whole Lot of Red, dog. They quoting that shit, and you talking about you can't hear the words. These motherfuckers is quoting every word.
Yeah.
They thought I was gay. Like, come on. Like, and that's a line off. But it's just like, how can you tell them it's not? You know what I mean? Right, like, dog, that's hip hop, man. Like,
music itself has evolved so far from where it started, and like you said, like. Most people aren't like you, where you're like, Jay Electronica is or Earl Sweatshirt's top 5 for me and all this shit. But at the same time, like, you can't like one and also like the other today. Like,
yeah, man.
It feels like people make you pick.
Yeah,
man, one of the best things I like to say is 2 things can be true.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? People don't, you know, I'm like, man, like, he can be good and he can be good as well, too.
Right.
Like, you can listen to most def in the same vein that you listen to a Young Thug. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I like DJing, because I play that shit together. I'm like, fuck it, man.
Yeah, because I've always been the type of person who's like, what am I looking for? Like, what am I on today? Like, I got my playlist are set up like that I've created, where it's like, okay, I'm feeling like I'm in a conscious, like, thinking type mood. Okay, I listen to that. And then if I'm like, I'm going to the gym, I need some pump up shit, or like, I'm about to go out. Like, but I just want quality.
That's all I care about, too.
I just want quality, man. It's like, if you're good at it, then shit. Okay, you got a lane.
So, what you got planned?
Just keeping, just making everything more official. So, Diamond FM, I'm pretty sure will officially be his business pretty soon. And so, I don't really like talking about stuff that I have planned, because I like to just do it.
Right.
Okay.
So, just keep up with me. But just just solidifying the Diamond FM brand, solidifying the ABX brand, and solidifying myself as a human being. So, just treating myself better and just letting people see that. Because I feel like when people know that, like, I feel like your spirit shines through whatever you do.
Yeah.
And so just get my mind and my body right, which I really need to get my body right. But
Still got the hoop business, man.
I really need to get, but just getting that together, so then when I do stuff, people can see that shine through. 'Cause I really believe that. Like, I feel like when people are doing what they want to do and just enjoying that shit, you can see that in them. It's funny. I always say this. Like, I used to be a bartender in the city. And I put this on everything. I work with people, and they would always get hit on as a bartender. I put this on everything. I never got hit on as a bartender. Crazy enough. I started DJing, dog, and listen, baby, I'm sorry.
I like, don't get in trouble now.
Right.
I'm about to shout out to my girlfriend. Man, when I tell you, like, I felt like people just saw my energy and they wanted to be around that shit, more specifically women. And so it was just, like, different. I thought I started getting hit on more, and I was like, man, I ain't doing nothing but getting bigger, forehead getting fatter, respectfully. Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck's going on? But it's just like, and also it's a clout thing, too.
Right.
If you associated with certain people, they're like, oh, my God.
For sure, yeah.
But, like, I just feel like people just, like, saw that energy and shit. And also I started taking better care of myself. I wasn't getting haircuts or nothing, y'all. Now, look, I'm working on the waves all the time.
He's baking right now.
You feel me? And so, like, it's certain stuff like that, too. But it's funny. Like, I feel like people can just feel your spirit within your art and everything
see the
that you
effort.
do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's the confidence that I feel like with me, like, I never say, like, the best and nothing like that, especially within, like, the DJ world, because there's so many people that I think are sweet. And I'm going to name them, too. Shout out to my boy JPB. Shout out to my boy SDDP Ben. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to my boy Coop. Shout out Quinette. Shout out D Nasty. Shout out to DJ Out Here. Shout out to Warren P. Shout out to DJ Always. Kimbo Slice. My boy Honest Ave. There's so many talented.
Now you gotta help
Don't
get
keep-
all of those
keep
people
going.
on the show.
I'm about to
Like,
say,
You only had
look,
11 shout-outs.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of some more people, some more DJs. Shout out my boy Shy. Shout out to my little brother Otez. Like, there's just so many talented DJs that I'm around. So that best shit is bullshit or whatnot. Because it's just like you could be playing something that resonates with one person, and another person's just like, this
What
ain't
is
for
this
me.
bullshit?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's whatever. But I just feel like people can, like, feel your spirit behind stuff. So I always want to just be coming just, like, correct, honestly, and be giving people something that I want to do. And that's why I say, like, with Diamond FM, it's something that I want to do. Like, I want to play this music. I want to hear this shit. This is the experience I would like if I was going out or if I was into a mix. And so that's why I feel like with the few people that have this, they're like, man, this is really cool, bro. Like, you really doing your thing and stuff. So I will say I do want to plan for more live events. I will say, and this is like me announcing this early, I won't have this flyer out until 2 weeks beforehand. On April 14th, I'll be at Merriweather, just doing a free event, just playing shit or whatnot. Because I haven't really DJed by myself in a while. Like, it's been a couple months. So I've been doing a lot of, like, collab events with stuff. But, like, Merriweather is just a small bar in Germantown. The owners, same owners who used to own Wiggle Room, actually.
Okay.
And so yeah, so they own. They've been having Merriweather. So I hit up one of the owners, JC. Shout out to him. I'm just gonna be doing just like a free event, just honestly for the community. Like, hey man, like, and like I hear that shit when people talk about covers. So I'm just like, I feel it.
Right.
Bring your ass here, and it's literally just me the whole time. I mean, I'm be playing what the fuck I want respectfully, but it's just like I don't know. I just haven't had like. Man, I love DJing for like 3 to 4 hours by myself because then I can get in a crazy bag. Then I can play Young Thug, the
Deep
Tory Ma,
pockets.
the Moody Man, I can just go crazy.
All
The
over
Janet
the
Jackson, I
spectrum.
can just go all over. Like I can really take people on a journey. So I will be doing that soon. I just gotta get the flyer and stuff together. So which I told you I make all my shit. So most of my stuff. I mean, if it's just me, it's I do it. But like I'm working with either Frank or Coop. They may do it or I might do it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and shout out? We'll shout out Dom FM, obviously.
Mhm.
Your Instagram page. Anything else you want to shout
So
out?
my Instagram is @MagicDomD. So I'm gonna say I've been going by my government name though recently, just Dom Haley.
Right.
And I don't know, it's been kind of weird because I'm like, there's sometimes where I still do put Magic Dom D on there.
Right.
And what it's been for me is like, if it's some turn up shit, it's Magic Dom D. If it's more of the house stuff, it's Dom Haley. So I don't think people been catching it at all. But like anytime I'm doing like Utopia or something with Michi, that's Magic Dom D. We turned the fuck up, and I love Michi for that because I'm like, he loves doing those parties and just keeping people like going nuts and keeping the ladies shaking their ass and everybody shaking their fucking asses. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's so all my handles are @MagicDomD, which I'm pretty sure they'll tag in there. So
Yep. we'll
TikTok,
have that.
Instagram, what else? Is that it? I mean, Dom FM, you can just look up Dom.FM on YouTube and all that shit, and it should pop up with Dom Haley. So yeah.
Cool. Terran, what you got?
Yeah, make sure you follow YouTube page, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the socials that we have. I'll have all the links on the bottom for everything. So
Yep. Devin.
Continue to follow and make sure you subscribe on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It'll get your episodes downloaded Monday morning. You ain't even got to do nothing. It'll say next up. Hell, if you just say Siri, play Seriously Unserious, and it'll start playing the newest episode. Just get it, follow it. Continue to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Just share. Be a friend, tell a friend.
Yep. Appreciate everybody listening. Peace.
Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, standing on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, there's topics to speak on. Seriously unserious with T Meek, D Board, D Jones, standing on whatever we feet on. We just getting started to feast on. The table is set, the mics is checked, there's topics to speak on.